The FNAF Security Breach Ruined DLC is an elusive secret with untold history, but also untold mostly everything else. And while we're supposed to be seeing it sometime soon, so more information may be on the way, what do we want to know now? That's what we're exploring today, so let's do it. Init 10 release date. As I've said before, the DLC isn't releasing until sometime in 2023, which is this year. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that we don't exactly know, but that could also be a good thing because it kind of gives us an unknown amount of time to pump out more DLC content until we actually have to pay attention to it. But also, if they don't give us a release date, they won't feel like they need to adhere to it, so we might actually get something complete when they release it. And it could also mean that this DLC is bigger and better than the previous DLC, like, you know, the one for Help Wanted. Like, you could add a couple of new Nightmare animatronics, or I guess crushed animatronics, or even a couple of more levels. But it also just raises the question, like, what exactly are they doing, and how are they taking their sweet time? Because again, we've seen nothing else about it. I don't know. It's free, so we can't really expect to see something huge for free, but I mean, I don't know. It's affiliated with Scott, so who knows? I don't know. Steel Wool might be like, yeah, let's release it for free. But Scott might be like, yeah, no, release it for free. And then Steel Wool's like, I don't know. I don't know Steel Wool. I don't know Scott, but I would like to. Hit me up. Init 9, anything. Literally anything would be great information to have. But we honestly, at least at the time of filming this, know nothing about the DLC aside from what was originally revealed. Like, the poster is all we've got since it came out, and it makes me genuinely upset. Okay, like, we didn't even get an April Fool's Day joke reveal. Okay, all we have is this poster that was like just as unfinished as the original game. I mean, if you look at the trees in the background, one of the sections isn't actually complete. The floor at the bottom also cuts off, but the rocks that are on top of the floor don't cut off. Mostly because at this point the ground without brightening has faded into black, but the rock is still kind of visible. However, even unbrightened, you can see a clear divide between the tile and just pure black. And you can also see that the left floor does the same thing. And it's also very clear in the original poster. I mean, like, come on, okay? It's even like a glowing rock that's sitting at the border. It kind of reminds me of like when an item is important in a game, so it's like highlighted, even if it's unrealistic in the setting. But also, the most interesting part in my eyes, like I said, is the far left tree, the one that's in the back next to the escalator. The bottom two sections of that tree are just blank. Like, it's a black outline with a solid brown color filled into it, like the artist was like blocking in the colors and then forgot to finish the detail, despite doing the rest of that same tree. I don't know what happened there, but Init 8 plot. Now, time that we get to some theories about our little blondie in the middle. Who is she? I've made it a point recently, or previously at least, to mention that she looks an awful lot like the middle silhouette of the 9 children who went missing due to Vanny. We can see it in the newspaper in the bad ending. And I still stand by that point, okay? She does look like that person. So, the most realistic answer that I have is probably that she's just one of the missing children who aren't actually dead, and that they're instead just trapped in the building somewhere, because Vanny doesn't really have, like, she doesn't seem like she wants to kill us. I mean, we assume she wants to kill us, but there's not really much about that. Especially when in the first trailer, Vanny says the same thing.
Gregory, your friends are worried about you. They're here with me.
So clearly, Gregory must have known these children, or at least kind of known them, which explains why he would come back to the Pizzaplex in the first place, but it doesn't explain how he never mentioned them. Either way, it's still a very real possibility that this blonde girl is just one of the missing children that managed to escape thanks to the collapse of the actual Pizzaplex. But I mean, again, I would like to actually know. I would like to have some real information. Init 7 main character. When it comes to the blondie on the poster again, while the girl could be one of the escaped children, she could also be Client 46, but it's also possible that she's Elizabeth Afton, either as a ghost, maybe if she was 46 that wouldn't make sense, but like maybe she could be Elizabeth Ghost, or she could be like just a normal spirit, or someone else. I mean, I don't know. Okay, if we take a look at the Blob, which should include Circus Baby, her eyes aren't lit any longer, you know, because like there's the masks that are lit. Baby's eyes aren't lit, which means that that spirit is probably no longer in the animatronic. And considering how Afton's body body still somehow survived this fire as well as the last one, and we think that Michael might have managed to make his way into Glamrock Freddy, it would make sense that Elizabeth's spirit had survived as well, especially if she wanted to stick around and keep trying to impress her dad. Since in previous videos we have come to the conclusion that Remnant can only be burned away if the spirit wants to be set free, or instead the burning just doesn't do anything and it was all lies that William concocted, and they only actually get released if their unfinished business is solved, like with the original missing children in the Happiest Day minigame. But again, we can't be sure because they haven't given us anything for what I feel like has been a year. I'm pretty sure it's been a year. I think it's been over a year actually. It might have even been 2. It's been a while. I've been talking about FNAF for a long time. And at 6, Glamrock Bonnie. And while we may not be choosing our guardian, it's definitely possible that in this whole mess, Bonnie was released from whatever prison he was being held in as well. Or maybe he was being held in if he wasn't actually destroyed by Monty. I don't know, it's something that could be possible. There are plenty of doors that we can only get behind if we have level 10 security clearance, which is actually impossible in the game. Even if you get every single pass code barcode thing that you can only get up to level 8. So those doors could have been opened or maybe even destroyed after the Pizzaplex's collapse, which could explain how we get into these new sections and how we actually expand the map after we get the DLC. I mean, like, we're probably not gonna have to be going around getting all the security badges anyway, since, you know, we already have 8 of them, and even if there were any remaining, it wouldn't really make sense, but a security door that's level 10 would make much more sense if it's just destroyed, okay? Because, like, what would they have kept behind those doors? Maybe they kept Bonnie in some stasis chamber like they were doing with Afton, because maybe they knew that Bonnie wouldn't be able to be controlled, and that's why they replaced him with Monty. I don't know, something like that. Halfway through into number 5, Vanny's fate. Vanny's fate from the best ending is also a mystery when you look at it, okay? Because in the canon ending, you know, the one where we fight against William Afton in the form of Burntrap and then the whole Pizzaplex collapses, in that ending, we don't see what happens to Vanny, okay? While yes, Burntrap might have been dealt with, we don't know if that releases Vanny or if she's still under his control. Plus, we don't know what she was doing and where she was when all of this goes down. Like, when there's a canon ending, you expect the main antagonist of the game to be there, right? So when Gregory and Freddy are just chilling on that hill, what comes next? Okay, I think a question that I genuinely don't have the answer to is this one, and I don't think that I could have an answer. There are so many possibilities at this point that it's impossible for me to guess, and I think that that's kind of the point, so that we have no idea what's coming with this DLC. But like, I don't know, what do you think? Did Vanny survive, or was she caught in the collapse? I mean, we see her eyes in the poster, but that doesn't exactly mean that it's her, because again, the rooftop ending has like 2 of them, so I don't know. Was it just the raceway, or was it the rest of it? I don't know, okay? Let me know your thought process in the comments. Okay, I'm genuinely curious. In at 4, the Blob. The Blob is an amalgamation of various animatronics that appeared in Security Breach as a secret antagonist. And as its name suggests, the Blob is a massive blob. It's a huge mass of wire and like kind of like tentacles and animatronic parts. I don't know. It has a whole load of glowing red eyes. It's basically the Ennard or Molten Freddy of this new game, or at least of this new chapter in the FNAF story. However, this seems like the right kind of monster it seems like a kind of thing that you would find in the back rooms, honestly, okay? The Blob's mind is one of a mindless monster reacting with simple grunts and screeches that are both distorted and deep and kind of mechanical sounding in a way. Some theorize that it's supposed to be all the animatronics making up one form this time instead of just being separate entities combined into like one being like they were with Ennard. But like, God, dude, we have no idea. It has plastic faces that are on it that should 100% have not been in there, okay? Like, where the hell did Chica come from? I don't remember Chica being in FNAF 6 before it burnt down. So, I don't know, okay? It's suspicious as hell. It grabs William. We don't know if it's dead. I don't know, okay? I have trust issues, and this thing involves Baby, which only made them worse. So, yeah, I'm questioning it. I don't trust it. Nope. No. Getting close to the end in number 3, Burntrap. Now that Afton is out of his charging port like some weird new Apple product, assuming that this is where the story is supposed to go, what could the possible DLC story with him be, okay? I mean, like, I'm guessing Burntrap is somehow able to get back into the Pizzaplex, despite Freddy telling Gregory that the elevator would only be good for one trip, but who knows, okay? Maybe that's because, like, Gregory and Freddy's weight combined or something like that. I don't know, maybe with just Afton on it, it would actually be able to make more than one trip, because, like, I don't know, he's an evil dickbag, right? I mean, he comes back no matter what the general population wants and what is probably best for the story. They don't care. They're gonna bring him back. So yeah, Afton would probably get back up and start roaming the Pizzaplex again, probably corrupting anything that he could, which would probably lead to yet another ending where we would have to defeat him and or maybe have the rest of the building come down so that we can deal with all of them at once. I would love that. That would be wonderful. But in my eyes, I feel like we would have to lure him down to like parts and service and then tear him apart and then reveal his bloody insides that are still somehow there. And then, I don't know, okay? Look. Burntrap being in this is going to be so confusing, and this DLC itself is going to be so confusing that I have no idea what the possible implications could be. So I want to know. Tell me directly. I won't share it, okay? Scott, just message me. All right, please. Let's sort this out so that I can be put to rest, and then like the soul that you're seeing on your screen, because I've been dead for 5 years because of this damn series, can finally move on into the definite party that's happening downstairs, because we both know I ain't going up. And we'd like, let me move on, please. Let my spirit be at rest, because this is I won't share it with anyone. You'll just tell me and then boom, right downstairs. But ultimately, into number 2, possession rules. Possession in the FNAF universe is very interesting. However, it's not something that we actually fully understand at all, really. There are a couple things that we do know, like how agony is supposed to be one of the most powerful emotions that stretches out further from the body than anything else, but we also don't really know if agony grabbing hold of something is what we call possession, or if they're two different things. We don't know if like you have to die, and if when you do, if your like remaining agony is supposed to be your spirit. We don't really know any other rules, if there are any, okay? We think you need to be close to the thing that you're possessing, assuming that possession and agony aren't different things, or are different, because like, you know, if it is agony, then you would need to be around the thing because it needs to reach out and grab onto it, and I'm sure it doesn't have more mileage than my grandma after shuffleboard, but like, I don't know, we know nothing about possession, and I would like the DLC to explain it, or for someone else to explain it to me. Okay, Scott, Steel Wool, Matt, Pat, someone, hit me up. Notice me, senpai. Please, I'm saying it again, Sky Daddy Scott. Please. I'm going to be more cringe until you say hi. And finally, in at number 1, Afton's fate. We don't know what happened to Afton, okay? Like, the security breach ending is one of the most confusing but scary parts of security breach, because it contains a whole load of things that don't make sense. One of them is just the ending itself, okay? It's so vague. After making your way into Burntrap's area, he tries to take over Freddy, you fight him off, you stop him, and then you think that it's gonna be over. The whole place is on fire, because, you know, you were lighting him on fire, because that was a great idea, Gregory. Burntrap is burned, he's limping, and then the Blob comes out of nowhere, grabs him, and then seems to get rid of him, even though he was trying to kill us not like 5 minutes earlier, okay? Then Freddy and Gregory are just chilling on a hill, but also they shouldn't have been able to get there because Freddy still has to recharge. I don't know, okay? It's a lot. There's supposed to be death animations in the game files, but I don't know. I don't believe you. And he's not dead. All right, so please just tell me, please, okay? And if you're as dumbfounded and dead inside as I am, click the video that's popping up on the screen now. Thanks for watching, I guess.